Every day, human resources professionals make decisions that shape people's experiences at work. We decide who gets hired, how employees are supported, what policies are updated, and where organizations invest their time and resources. Some of those decisions are small, others have long-term consequences. What separates effective HR decision-making from guesswork is data. When used thoughtfully, data helps us move from what we think might be happening to what the evidence is actually telling us. In this video, we'll explore how data supports smarter HR decisions and how HR professionals use data not just to report outcomes, but to guide meaningful action. In human resources, we make decisions every single day. Who to hire, how to support employees, where to invest time and resources, and how to improve the employee experience. At its most basic level, data is simply a collection of facts. On its own, data doesn't tell us very much. But when we analyze that data, patterns begin to emerge. Those patterns help us move beyond intuition and toward decisions that are more informed, consistent, and defensible. In HR, data gives us a clearer picture of what's actually happening, not just what we think is happening. Data isn't something reserved for analysts or executives. It shows up in everyday decision-making. Think about the last time you searched for restaurants near you and sorted the results by rating. You used data to guide your choice. Organizations do the same thing, just at a much larger scale. In HR, that might mean reviewing turnover data before redesigning onboarding or analyzing engagement survey results before launching a new manager training program. These decisions are stronger when they're grounded in evidence rather than assumptions. There are two common ways organizations use data: data-driven and data-inspired decision-making. Data-driven decisions rely heavily on metrics and outcomes to point toward a specific action. Data-inspired decisions take a broader view, pulling from multiple data sources to identify themes and patterns. In HR, data-inspired decisions are especially valuable because people and workplaces are complex. Rarely does one metric tell the full story. Effective HR leaders know how to balance the data with context, experience, and professional judgment. Hiring is one area where data can make a powerful impact. HR teams analyze application trends, interview results, and hiring outcomes to understand where strong candidates may be getting filtered out, or where the process may unintentionally introduce bias. By reviewing this data, organizations can refine screening criteria, improve interview consistency, and increase the likelihood of making strong, fair hiring decisions. Data helps HR focus on what truly predicts success in a role. You'll often hear the term algorithm when discussing data in HR. An algorithm is simply a structured set of rules designed to solve a specific problem. In HR, algorithms might help flag qualified candidates who were screened out too early, identify patterns in early turnover, or determine which hiring practices lead to better outcomes. It's important to remember that algorithms are tools, not replacements for HR professionals. They support decision-making, but ethical judgment and human oversight remain essential. Data also plays a critical role in onboarding and employee development. By analyzing feedback from new hires, HR teams can identify what employees need most during their first weeks on the job. This insight helps organizations design onboarding experiences that build clarity, confidence, and connection early on. Strong onboarding doesn't happen by accident. It's shaped by data that tells us what's working and what needs improvement. One of the most important lessons in HR analytics is that raw data, by itself, has very little meaning. A single number doesn't tell a story until we add context and comparison. For example, knowing how long an employee takes to complete a task doesn't mean much until we compare it to expectations, peers, or past performance. In HR, context is everything. Data becomes useful only when it's placed within the right organizational and human framework. Information becomes knowledge when we understand it and apply it thoughtfully. In HR, this is where data creates real value. Knowledge is what allows us to adjust a policy, redesign a process, or intervene earlier to support employees. This is the moment when data moves from being interesting to being impactful, when it directly shapes better decisions for people and the organization. While data is powerful, it does have limitations. Sometimes the data we need doesn't exist. Other times it's incomplete, inconsistent, or measured differently across systems. These challenges are common in HR and important to acknowledge. Data should inform decisions, not blindly dictate them. Responsible HR professionals understand both the strengths and the limits of analytics. As an HR professional, your role is not just to collect or report data. Your real value lies in how you interpret it and translate it into action. Data is a powerful tool, but it's only as effective as the decisions it supports. When used thoughtfully, data helps HR professionals create fairer processes, stronger workplaces, and better outcomes for employees and organizations alike, one decision at a time.